Good morning, everyone. So at least one of you announced that you did take the workshop. I should know this, what day it is, the 13th. So it's an odd day, so go with your least favorite cross. With that leg in first. But so Marcia mentioned that she took the coast to coast workshop and that it was quite wonderful. So, and I think it was Devon's class one day, maybe Thursday or Friday last week, where she talked about the heat, right? So, you know, while most of us are inside a lot right now, we still are affected by this oppressive heat. So we're going to do some forward bendings. The forward bends are great because they truly give a lot of support to our internal organs here. They support the forward bends support those organs well. And then the twists wring out the toxins. So it's kind of like a double whammy today. We're not going to work so hard that we get so sweaty. But first, sit up as straight and tall as you can and truly begin to feel your tallness, whatever tallness you have. From the bottom of the buttocks, feel that tallness in yourself. And then begin with your breath to fill out that space. So you felt your tallness, then you fill your tallness with your breath. And you even feel on that inhalation, not just the ribs expanding sidewards, but the collarbones. So you feel your tallness, you fill that space, and then once again, feel the space you've created. Your hands are still down at this point. Now, our sensory organs all day are usually projecting outward. So now is the time to begin to bring them inward. Turn your attention and your intention inward. Look straight ahead, relax all the muscles in your face. Keep that space you created, and then bring your hands to your heart. Relift your chin. In fact, put your head, move your head back just a bit. Usually it's, you know, especially with the camera that you might be straining to see, which I haven't told you to actually close your eyes yet, but imagine that you didn't have to look at the camera and my words were good enough. So just bring your head back so that it's more centered over the perineum, over the tailbone. And you feel that. Those of us who have some scoliosis at this point, you know, you might notice some crookedity. That's okay. But whatever you feel, still try to fill that space up with your breath and then feel that space that you're creating. Then close your eyes completely. And then just listen for a minute. One of my longtime old students reminded me of many years ago how much longer my ohms were. And I said, oh wow, have they really gotten shorter? And you know, I missed doing the full invocation, got to do it with the workshop last week, quite a few times, twice a day, most of the days. But I realized that, yeah, maybe they have gotten shorter because I'm not doing the invocation. So we're just going to make all those three sounds together that the syllable om, the pranava om makes. We'll make those together. So the first one is like ah. So open your mouth as big as it gets. Ah. Okay. And then the second one, oh. So you open your mouth nice and round. Oh. And don't be bashful, nobody's hearing you. And then the last one, the lips are closed. Okay, so now we'll put that together with your awareness inside, your intention, your attention drawn inward, all the sensory organs directed inside. Inhale. So that was an example. Maybe yours didn't match mine. That's okay. Try to elongate each syllable. Again, turn your attention inward. Let everything else fade away, and just bring yourself inward. 2 more at this point. Inhale. Last one. Stay there and just let your body feel those reverberations, vibrations from chanting that sacred syllable. Bringing your attention inward, your intention inward, and letting everything else go. Relift your spine, broaden across your collarbones, and bow to that space inside you found. Release your hands on your legs. And then slowly lift the head up. And gently open your eyes. Okay. Get rid of your blanket stack. So this is basic Adho Mukha Virasana. There's lots of ways to do Adho Mukha Virasana. And again, as you all know, in Iyengar yoga, how we do the pose depends on why we're doing the pose. So for today's focus on Adho Mukha Virasana, I want you to kneel up, and I want you to use your hands to pull up this back of the thigh hamstring all the way to the buttock crease. Now keep that, and see how I'm still holding that back of the hamstring, and I'm kind of pushing it beyond my buttock bones. Can you see? And then I sit down. So that skin is way back from my heels. So I keep that, but first I want you to use your hands once more as props that they can be, Parmendrias, organs of action, to press down on that top thigh without letting this hamstring come forward. So hamstrings and groins stay back. I'm just pressing down and I'm looking forward. See my shoulders? My shoulders stay back. I'm not letting this change. It hasn't changed. And then I say, okay, that's pretty much all I've got. Now I can use my arms in another method to hold the edges of the sticky mat and push that back even further. And then I keep holding and I lengthen the trunk forward. Okay, and then I let go of the mat and I feel those ribs going forward, my chest going forward. I'm still looking forward, and this has stayed back. And groins are soft.
And I put my head down. Stay there.
Keep your throat soft, all the muscles in your face soft. Groins stay back. Hamstrings stay back. They're really not doing anything. You used your hands to help them stay back. I really wanted you to get that hamstring, past the buttock flesh. All right, now inhale and slowly come up. Okay, hopefully you got that. Let's, use our chat system if you have any questions or you didn't get anything, because there's really, I've got this class kind of packed and I really want to try to get through it all today. So there's actually kind of two versions of to the side Adho Mukha Virasana, and I'm going to call this more of a parivrtta action, a rotating of the spine. Then I am going to not call it a parshva. Parshva, I would just go to the side and go out. So let me show you the difference. I'm not going to show you the one I don't want you to do because I don't want that in your memory banks. So I turn a little bit, okay? So I turn to bring the right side of my chest more towards the outside of that hip, left side of the chest more to the inside of this right leg. Then I come down, and always I'm going to keep the right hand resting on the floor, and I push strongly, and right away I start to turn my spine. So I'm turning these back ribs. So your left back ribs turn towards the front of the body, the back right ribs turn towards the back of the body. And always full extension of the side body and rotate the spine. Always pushing with that right hand into the floor. All right, so hopefully you are either there or you just watched me, which was fine, and now you're ready to go. So I'll do the second side while you're still doing the first side. So I just turn a little bit, then I start to go over, and now it would still be your right hand pressing onto the floor. Left arm fully extending. I use that to help me revolve or rotate my spine. So I'm turning my spine towards the wall behind me. And if, for me, with my neck problems that I tend to have, it's really nice to keep my arm on my upper arm. My head on my upper arm. And I turn. And I extend. And I turn some more. Keep your throat soft. Very important. So it's more of a parivrtta Adho Mukha Virasana, a rotating of the spine, than it is a parshva to the side. So it's different. All right, second side for y'all. I'm going to come have a look. Keep the left hand now near the knee and push on that floor and turn rotate your spine, twist your spine. Yeah. Yeah, I guess if the buttocks are coming up, Kathy, maybe another blanket would be, or can you just double that blanket? Yeah, don't let the buttocks come up. Buttocks have to stay back, groins have to stay back. Bob, I would say, if I'm seeing you now for the first time, you look a little bit more like still the parshva version, like you're doing this part, you're way out to the side. And really what I want is just a little turn, come down, and now turn your back body towards the floor behind you or the wall behind you. Yeah, that's better. Do you feel the difference? No. Okay, I'd say your arm that's on the floor is still too crossed. It's still, sorry, the outstretched arm. Yeah, there you go. Now, turn your back body more. Push on the floor. Maybe move the hand that's pushing on the floor. That would be your left. Is that your left? Yeah. Push, bring it a little closer between the bicep and the elbow. Walk it up. And now push on that floor and turn. All right. Okay. All right, inhale and come up. We could spend a lot more time there, but now you maybe have some idea of what the difference is between a Parshva Adho Mukha Virasana and a Parivrtta Adho Mukha Virasana. Okay, my hair is going up and back. All right, so just watch me first. So here I am in my actually I could kneel up again. Good idea. Kneel up and pull these handies up, up. Pull them back and have a seat. I like how this makes my groins feel. Nice and deep. Okay, so now I'm going to come forward and I'm going to grab the top edge of my sticky mat. I have a really thick sticky mat. If you don't, you might consider a couple of rolls, but mine is really thick. So look, which I'm just going to fold it once and I'm going to put my knuckles and the first part of my fingers underneath the roll. Okay, so now even my thumb is going towards the floor. So I'm pulling, or I'm pushing the arms forward and keeping the groins back. Okay, so now I'm going to come up onto all fours. I'm still pushing with those arms. Walk my knees back just slightly from the hips. Tuck my toes under. Pull the abdomen up and come up with just the shin bones. Okay, can you see that? Okay, now I push on the floor and I reach up. So now, do you see my ribs are touching my butts? So I'm pushing on the floor, those hands forward, the arms pulling upwards, and then I keep lifting, keep lifting, keep lifting. Straight, so you see how high up I am on my tippy toes, and hopefully your back from the crown of your head to your tailbone is vertical, or mostly vertical. So then I try to keep that and lower the legs, lower the heels towards the floor. So let's see if this holding on to this sticky mat helps you in your Adho Mukha Svanasana. Literally push your fingers that are tucked under your sticky mat and your fingernails, push them down into the floor and forward. All right, and now go up. Remember, so first the shins are just bent a little bit and you keep the ribs close to the thighs, thighs close to the ribs. Yeah, that's it, Marcia. Now don't lose anything in that verticality that you have. Keep pushing with your arms, with your hands, and now go. Yeah. Now straighten the legs. That's better, Kathy. Although you have on such a big shirt, I can't see your back. You have to tuck your shirt in. Okay, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Have a rest, and we'll just try it one more time. So how much those arms and legs have to work? So, you know, we have to use our arms for our legs. And then guess what? We have to use our legs for our arms. New concept, huh? All right, one more time. So if you want, you know, it's not a bad idea to kneel up. Reach that hamstring up to the buttock flesh. Have a seat. Go forward. Now, even my thumbs are reaching over towards the floor. I turn my inner upper arms so that my, you know, where you give blood is turned up towards the ceiling. I don't know what else to call that. The inner elbow, I guess. Okay. Then I come up on all fours, walk the knees back, tuck my toes well under, hover, keep the arms really strong here, and then start pushing yourself with your arms reaching up. So I stay here a bit. This is strength work. Okay, and then I straighten the legs. Lift those top, very, very top of your thighs. Feel the spread of the back of your thighs. Push. Hands down into the mat, down into that rolled sticky mat. Lift the arms up. Just hang your head. Okay, now this time just walk forward. Feet almost the width of your sticky mat. I have a really wide sticky mat. Bring your hands, or you know, if you guys that have the chair nearby can do this. So your hands are on the chair. Or you're here. So really wide legs. Press the feet down. Pull the, you can help. Pull those hamstrings up. And now just let the head go down. Bend the elbows out to the side. Uttanasana. Feel the backs of your legs spreading. Okay, bring your hands to your hips and then inhale and stand up. All right. Need to warm up. All right, Tadasana. And if you can stand so that I can see you from a side view. You can see most of me. Let me push my camera back just a little bit. All right, your best Tadasana. Reach down there, Kathy Lindauer, and spread that forefoot forward, all the toes, spread, spread. Spread the inner ankle to the outer ankle. Join those feet, ankles, calves, knees, thighs, wherever they join. Stack your bones, right? So if I'll show you what I normally, you know, see in a lot of people is that, and if we just stand casually, you know, we're just talking to someone casually, you know, our thighs will go forward. So no, we have to press the thighs back. One way to get at that is just to bend a little bit forward. Okay, and you see how that automatically brought my thighs back. So I keep that. I keep those thighs back. And I stand back. Stand up. Stretch your arms at your sides. Look straight ahead. Tadasana. Okay, have a strap. Make a small loop in your strap. Now this is gonna be relative. I've got mine probably about 10 or 12 inches, something like that. Take it behind you. Do you see how, can you see that I've got the strap in between the fingers and the thumb? Okay, so I do my Tadasana again. If I need to bend forward a little bit to bring those thighs back over the lower leg bone and the heels, I do that. And I stand up straight. Okay, now you've got the strap on, and this can be as wide as it needs to be, right? For some of you, especially maybe Doug working with that shoulder injury, he's wide. He can be as wide as he needs to be, as long as he can straighten the arms and feel that collarbone helping him take those shoulders back. So the idea is shoulders back. Okay, now you're gonna push your hands against, you're turning the palms out so that the little fingers are now on the inside and the thumbs are on the outside. Strong Tadasana legs. And now I reach that strap back. So see how it takes my shoulders back from here, back. How are we doing? Chin up, Doug, head back and chin up. Really push against that strap and feel how it broadens your collarbones. Don't let the elbows bend anyway. Thumbs are on the outside. Little fingers, you can turn your palm as much as possible and take those arms back. Not everywhere. Let's see. Reach more back than up. Good. Okay. Release from that.
Miss Shirley.
Cheryl, yes.
Michelle. Sorry.
That's okay. I know it's hard. It's hard for Indian speaker to get that.
Yeah.
Essay.
In this position, my palms are down or side with the palms are palms down, side.
Palms are. They are, if you can, Jaya, they are turning to the sides. This is in lieu of, and Bob has a rope wall. I could say, Bob, you could go and do, Bhujangasana with your rope wall. But not everybody has the rope wall. But this really brings some intelligence to the body. So I'm turning, you see how I'm turning my palms out to the sides?
Yeah.
But that's, that's hard. That's extreme. So some people might just be palms facing each other, but in any way, you're pulling against the strap to take the arms back to open the shoulders.
Thank you. I got it. Thank you.
That's all good. Okay. All right. So just put your strap nearby. Let's do Urdhva Hastasana. So let's just go Tadasana with the feet just slightly apart to give you some more balance. Arms out. Turn the palms up. So I'm rotating, from the back of this armpit, turning those arms so that the bicep faces the ceiling. So this being the wrong action, see how my shoulder blades are out of the body? So I have to pull the shoulders back and move the shoulder blades deeper into the body. Then I go up, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach the arms up. Strongly reach the arms up. Feel the whole length of the body. This is another great example of how you're using the arms to help you lift your legs. Can you feel if you just let your arms go slack here, you know, the legs don't lift up more. If you work with your arms, it helps you pull your thighs up, it helps you pull your pelvis up. Okay, and then take the arms down. All right, now, hands on top of the head, bound. Okay, and then we're doing Urdhva Badanguliasana. Trying to think how, I don't know that you guys can, I'll turn, I don't know that I can get my camera any further away because I'm in this small room. I may have to go to a two-camera system. So if I lower myself, you guys are standing in Tadasana, but here I go. And I'm keeping I turn my hands out for Badanguliasana, and I put my hands on top of my head. So here, it's more about these elbows moving back and keeping the elbows back as I go up into Urdhva Badanguliasana. Okay, now when I'm up there, watch here. My head can be another organ of action. So I look up and I feel, I can tell you if I'm standing up, it's better. I feel when my head goes back, the rib cage, sorry, the pelvis lifts more. When my head goes up, my pelvis lifts more. So then I bring the head back to neutral and I try to keep that. Okay, you're all doing it at the same time. And Kathy, it's too hard. Yeah, for most of you, it's hard for me to see any of you, but see if that helped. Arms back. All right, so let's start over. Just so I can see where everybody is, can you, well, all right, if you can't kneel, if kneeling is too hard, just sit in your chair so that I can see all of you. But see, here, yeah, you can. Okay, good. I sit in my chair and I put my hands on top of my head. Oh, now do the other crossing. I'm doing the other crossing. So here, do you see how far back my elbows are? Okay, I keep that. And I straighten the arms. So the trapezium has to go down your back and the shoulder blades have to move into your back. I don't think some of you are getting that. All right. Arms back, Mike. Arms back, Kathy. Arms back. Arms back. Now lift your head. Kathy, Linda, lift your head. Can you, yeah, lift your chinny, chin, chin. Arms back, arms back. All right, that's better. Use those arms. You're prying open the chest. You're prying open your shoulders. All right, all these are just such important poses for us to move on. Okay. Did you do both sides? If not, now you're completing the second side. Second crossing, because I just did it seated. So elbows back. Turn the palms up, elbows back. Reach up through your wrist, through your, where your fingers bend and back. And then I lift the head up and look at those hands. And I keep that and then bring the head back and down. All right, you guys are probably going, what does all this have to do with twists and forward bends? Okay. Let's see, I'm going to show you from behind. kind of a pulsing movement for Gomukhasana arms. So it would be your left hand, turn slightly this way. So by pulsing, I mean this. See how I'm kind of pulsing and walking, pulsing and walking. I started with my bottom of my wrist well below my shoulder blades. And now all this pulsing has got my hand much higher up my back, pretty much in line to my shoulder blades. So I pulse and walk, pulse and walk. Now I push into the back of my hand, into my back, and I draw that left shoulder back. It's more the left shoulder that's got to go back than the elbow. Yeah, the elbow goes back, but the shoulder goes back, then the elbow goes back. All right, now reach your right arm up, and you've got your strap if you can't catch. But keep pushing and pulsing, pushing your left hand into your back, and draw that left shoulder back. Gomukhasana arms. You know who you are if you have to use your strap. Doug, be careful. Don't drop your chin though. And then some of you, you just stay here, working with that hand. See this pulsing? And little by little, I walk up. Back. Reach the arms down, Tadasana. Second side. There's a lot more to unpack there, but hopefully this will just get you warmed up enough for the other stuff. So your right arm comes from behind, and you pulse and walk up. Pulse and walk up. Press your hand into your back and draw that shoulder back. Pulse, walk up, walk up, walk up. And then pretty soon it's almost at the nape of your neck. Then reach your left arm up, catch, pull with that top arm, that bottom arm up, draw that right shoulder back. Think about, so this shoulder, I have to take one arm off to show you. This shoulder has to go back. So if I push into my back with that same hand as shoulder, I can move that shoulder back. Push, push, and roll that right shoulder back. You have to get these poses. They simply must be gotten. It's a daily pose. It's daily work. Okay, have a rest for your arms and then just watch me here. So some of you are going to do, first let me show the modification for Doug and maybe some others. The modification would be to stand in Tadasana, and you'll do it both ways, but you're just holding Baddha Hasta. Holding the elbows, drawing the shoulders back. Lift up. So that's your modification, Doug, but you can try it. But here's how it goes. It's Paschima Baddha, and it's done from a movement, kind of, again, a pulsing action. So I'm going to bend the knees just a little bit. It's kind of a, it helps you think that because you're bending, you can reach up your back more. So I bend, and I take those hands up. Then I straighten. So you just try it a few times. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Maybe, by the fourth or fifth time, your hands are in the middle of your shoulder blades. And Kathy, you don't have to straighten the knees. You can bend forward. Work on it here. Don't have to straighten the knees yet. until you're almost there. All right, so this one doesn't have two sides, but you can work on it 4 or 5 times. Roll your shoulders back. Open up the armpit.
Hi, Sheryl. This is Timothy. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So when your hands go at the back, are they just touching each other? Are they doing
They're
this?
like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I noticed some of you, you might not get there. I was trying to show a little bit from the sideways view like this. So I'm bending and my arms are turning. So I'm turning. So this movement will help you get there. Okay, so I've let those shoulders roll forward. And then when I get there, then I have to roll the shoulders back. Press the hands into the back and up the back, up the back. Whew. Was that any better, Sumati?
Yes, but it's a little lower. Does that matter? Like I cannot.
No.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I think I can make them. Yeah.
Yeah, eventually we'll get there. Yeah, and this, if you guys that have, wrist problems, Doug, this would be a good thing for you to do every day. So you kneel down. You can see me, yeah. I'm kneeling. I've turned my fingers back, and I just bring the hands down. And then I try to sit back a little bit. And this is just wrist work. Keep your shoulders down. Don't let the shoulders hunch up, but press that very, very edge of your wrist down into the floor. Okay, then you have to do it the other way if you're working on it. Doug, can you see this? So I'm like this. Yeah, then you have to do it the other way. Spread your fingers. Keep your elbows straight.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Yeah, if this is hard, that will work, help with the wrist. All right, Padahastasana. Okay, now keep your straps close by. Marcia, if you remember, this was in the last class with Mary Obendorfer. I'm maybe 10 or 12 inches in a wide Uttanasana. I'm going to use my wall. So 10 or 12 inches away from the wall are my feet, my heels. I have a really wide sticky mat, so I'm not going to go to the very edges of my sticky mat, but most of you could. Almost to the edges of your sticky mat. So then I just I lift my hamstrings up and I lift the groins up. Just help them to really feel like they're lifted. Hamstrings and groins. Okay, then I let the buttocks fall back to the wall. Bend forward. Okay, so for those of you that this is difficult, you'll use your chair. Just do your best to fold, to reach. Okay, there's your variation. Or you could do it this way too.
Okay.
Okay, so now the rest of us, wide Uttanasana. I've lifted up the hamstrings and the groins. I bend forward. Okay, now I've taken, I just let my head go and I've taken what is my best Uttanasana. My elbows are wide.
Okay, then I keep that. I clasp my hands behind my back. Like a traditional clasping of the hands. Okay, then I reach my arms as if up to the ceiling. And I move the shoulder blades deeper into the back. Relax your head, your throat. Reach the arms up, not, okay, so watch, not overhead, but instead up straight up to the ceiling. So if I look at you, I should see that your arms are vertical. Vertical. Okay, now when you pull, don't let your hands come apart, but when you pull against your palms, each other, you can feel those shoulder blades move deeper into your back and more opening across this armpit chest. I don't know if you remember that one, Marsha.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, arms straight up. Don't let the arms go overhead, Soko. Yes, there. Now reach straight up. Imagine you're going to hook your hands onto a wall hook that's at the top of your ceiling, right above you. Yeah. And now, Bob, if it's easier for you, pull those arms apart, fingers apart. You keep your hands clasped, but you pull your hands up against one another and you try to affect some change in that shoulder blade area. Okay. Release from that. Oops. All right, so Prasarita Padottanasana. Just watch here for a second because I want to make sure, Marsha, you were there, but I want to make sure that everybody really gets this. I'm going to have a couple of blankets nearby. I'm going to have them folded the same way. Prasarita Padottanasana. So watch here. I'm just going to have those blankets on the ready. I'm going to show with and without. So I'm standing wide. I'm pressing down with my feet, pulling up with our legs. If you're not sure how your legs are working, go ahead and give yourself some help. So I'm pulling and I'm helping to lift my groins up, my hamstrings up, hands on the hips, and then I lift my chin up towards the ceiling. I keep that. Pull forward, don't change your legs. Now reach forward, reach forward. So I keep the relationship of the ankle, the knee, the hip, all in the same plane. If you can, get your head down here, then you just walk your hands back and your head goes to the floor. Okay, those of you who can't, you've got a nice stack here. Okay, so you'll reach out, and then let the head go to the support. So you've chosen your pose. Most of you are already in it. Head down, but just let your head go. You're a little bit more on your hairline than the top of the head in this one. Press your hands, lift your shoulders up away from the neck, soften your neck. Okay, now if you can remain steady here with your head on either on the floor or the blankets, reach your arms up. Your head has to stay down, just like you did in slanting Uttanasana. Clasp your hands behind, and now stretch your arms straight up to the ceiling again. Work here. Reach the arms straight up.
Turn the biceps towards the camera.
If you are side view to me, that would be good. Don't take the arms back, but straight up. Imagine somebody's pulling your hands up to the ceiling and hanging your hands on a hook. Good. Mike, I think if the elbows bend so much, you need a strap. So let me show with a strap. I'm glad I saw that. So I'm here. Mike, are you watching?
Heads down. I got my strap. Hold on to my strap. I pull the strap apart and just go up with that strap. Not back, but up. And this might be good for you too, Doug. Strong legs here. Feel the backs of the thighs spreading and opening. All right, and now release your hands. Walk forward. Come up to the concave. You can step in a few times and then bring the hands to the hips and stand up. All right, Shirshasana, folks. If you do regular practice of Shirshasana, you may have 3 minutes in Shirshasana. If you do not, you can follow me and Shaya and maybe some others in the prep work. Like you're going to do Shirshasana, interlace your palms, press your forearms. The forearm bone, the ulna, should be like a knife, pressing down into the floor. Pull your shoulders back, look forward, come up into the form of downward dog. Sternum to navel. Navel to pubis. Look forward towards your hands. Push with the arms. Lift your back up. Lift your shoulder blades towards your waist. Okay, the Shirshasana people have 2 more minutes. So make it a good 2 minutes. You Shirshasana folks, be strongly aware of your base. You worked a lot on the arms, the length, so your base is that from that elbow point to the wrist and the little finger side of your hands. Press that firmly down, reach up the biceps and triceps. Reach up the side body. Make your legs tired in Shirshasana. Yeah, they have to work strongly. Roll the thighs in, join the legs everywhere they join in Tadasana, they should join in Shirshasana. All right, now Chaya, you and I are going to do the alternate legs this time with the palms flat. Anybody else who wants to join us? Mike, you're joining us? Palms flat. From elbow to palm. Come up. Push. Push. So sternum to navel, navel to pubis, and now go up with the right leg. Reach it up, keep the hips squared. Push the front of your right thigh towards the back of your thigh. Come down. Wait there, 1 or 2 breaths. And then push, and now reach the left leg up.
Come on, Chaya, way up, way up, way up. Okay. And now everybody begin to come down from Shirshasana. In control, carefully, slowly. Use your abdominals, Kathy. Pull your abdominals in. Yeah. Come down. Okay. Everybody has their chair. Okay, this is sometimes called chair malasana, sometimes called Pavanamuktasana. So I'm sitting, with most of the leg on the chair. And what I don't want is I don't want the buttocks to be lower than the knees. So I need this little bit of height that I have underneath me, so that my buttocks, my groins are not lower than my knees. And my feet are just out in front, the width of the chair legs. So then I start to come forward. And you're just taking, like I called it Malasana or Pavanamuktasana. And first just reach the arms forward. You can go one by one and kind of uncover or feel the sides of the ribs stretching alongside that right or left leg. And then just let your head go, throat soft. Now, can you stay here and just reach for that back chair bar? Keep your groins very, very soft. Press down on the inner feet, and then pull yourself closer. I can even, reach the any part of the back of the chair. Groin soft, throat soft. Okay, now come up slowly. Join your feet and legs. Kneel up. You can watch me first, but you see how I'm just kind of kneeling up. Physically, I'm going to help my hamstrings to go back towards the buttocks and sit. Now I'm going to hold the sides of the chair and take what Mary Obendorfer fondly calls this swan dive. So I'm lifting the trunk up, the ribs up, the chest up, and I'm going forward. I may have to scoot just a little bit forward to straighten those arms. So I lift the chest. And you're holding on, so my thumbs are on the outside. Now, if I pull against this chair bar, woo, my collarbones just spread. So I'm pulling against the chair bar, lifting the chest, go forward, swan dive. Don't let the ribs drop though, right? So they're lifting up, the abdomen lifts up. So you look like it's either a swan dive or the masthead of a ship. Is everybody there? Can everybody do some semblance of that pose? Okay. Yeah. Kathy Lindauer, I don't see a lot of lift in the chest though. So you can scoot forward, Scoot a little bit forward. Yeah. Yeah, nice, Bob. Better, better, Kathy. That's nice. Chin up, chin up.
So. It's kind of like relax for a second. It's kind of like a swooping of the chest forward, and then you have to lift it up. So just relax for a minute. I'm actually going to make this support just even now. I'm going to sit a little bit forward towards the edge of the chair, and my feet are in the center with my feet together. So now we're doing it together. So you swoop the chest up and holding that sides of the chair, lift up. So this might look a little bit deeper in the groins here. Okay, so now watch. So now it's turning for Pashasana. So I'm turning and I'm just gonna put that left arm, doing this side so you can see, reach the right arm to the other side of the chair, push into that arm, my palm is open, and I turn. Turn the back body. Does this look familiar to Parivrtta Adho Mukha Virasana? That's what I was asking you to do there. Okay, now if you're there, can you stay there? You can go to the top of the chair now. And if you can't reach the top of the chair, you have to scoot back. See, I'm longer, so I had to scoot forward because this is too close for me. So I scoot forward because I've got the length in my trunk. So now I get the elbow to the knee. And I turn some more. Elbow to the knee. With that front elbow arm, kind of draw that right knee forward and turn. So it's a bit of Pashasana on the chair. How are we doing? Bring out those toxins. Head back, chin up. Chin up, Bob, chin up. Yeah, Kathy, did you go forward at all? Kathy Lindauer. You have to get that forward motion, still that swooping. All right, so relax everybody, and I'll show you on this second side. So I'm not quite on the edge of the chair. Here's my buttock bones. Here's the edge of the chair, and my buttock bones are here. So about 4 or 5 inches back. So I'm going to swoop forward, and then I have to lift the abdomen and the chest. I pull the chair bar apart and get more broadness across the collarbones. Okay, then you will keep your left hand on your chair, and now just bring the hand to the outside of the right hand to the outside of the left knee. All right, so this is what I'm seeing. Don't do this. Chin up, and now turn. You can kind of slide. I'm sticky, so I'm kind of, it's hesitant to slide, but it does slide. Turn your back body to the wall behind you. Chin up. The head and the neck can actually be another karmendriya, another organ of action besides the arms and the legs. We can use our head to help us turn here. Okay, go to your furthest. You know, if you can get the armpit closer. A little Pashasana work. All right, it's going to make the rest of the class seem so easy. All right, and then release. Get rid of your chair. Well, don't get rid of it entirely. In fact, just have it like this. For the first time, let's have it in front of us like this. Take one of your blanket heights about, this is gonna be, let's see. I'll show you how you're gonna judge this one. And you guys have a block and another blanket nearby. All right, first it's just malasana. So we can do this part together. Heels up on that blanket. The wall should be this close. I can touch the wall behind here. Chairs in front. So it's malasana using the chair. You don't have to use the chair, but I'm going to show. I think it's really a nice beginner. Sorry, not that you're a beginner student, but it's a nice way to begin in malasana. So I'm going to do that same thing I've been doing the whole class, and that is to lift the hamstrings up to the buttocks with my hands. I do that, and I stack the bones. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep the groins and the buttocks going back. Groins and buttocks going back. And I've got that nice chair to hold on to. So keep the groins soft, the groins back, the groins down. And now you begin to separate the knees to reach the trunk forward more and get your head on the chair. You could cross the elbows on the chair and just be in this version of malasana. The buttocks are way lower than the knees. Yeah, buttocks almost touching the backs of your heels. Okay, those of you who this is enough, you're staying here. Those of you who can do a deeper malasana, I'm putting a brick and a blanket there. I go forward, one by one, kind of scraping that side body through the legs. I can put my head down, I reach the arms, I internally rotate those arms, and I hold my ankles. And I use my arms to push my shin back and deepen the groins. And this feels really good in my sometimes stiff groins from walking the hills of Spicewood. Okay, don't let the knees separate so much. They can't go super wide. In fact, you have to push your knees in. Once you get to your maximum, you have to push your knees into your arms, and that holds you in the pose. This is what the final pose looks like. Okay. All right, now you're inhaling, standing up in Uttanasana. Get rid of this chair. Okay. So every time we're going to go back to Uttanasana and Malasana, and we're going to do, we may only get to 2 of them, but let's see if we can get to at least 2 of them. All right, so I'm pulling up the hamstrings to the buttocks, lifting the groins up, keeping them back. Tadasana, and then take the groins back and down. If you still need your chair, you still need your chair. Okay, so for Marichyasana 1, your left leg will come out. Keep your right leg on the blanket, right heel on the blanket, and your left leg comes out straight. Marichiyasana 1. So, this is where you need to see, I might be a little close to the wall. Watch. So I'm turning because, a little bit too close. I'm turning to catch the wall. Now, if that's, I mean, we did a lot of stuff, a lot of arm work. Then hopefully you can do this. If you can't, you take a brick and you're just holding that brick behind you. If it's too much to take the wall, you're holding the brick. But you're turning the side body, that whole right side of the body, to line up with that right thigh. And then watch the chin, right? So some of you in your last Pashasana, the chin was down. So chin up and turn. Now, if I can use that back elbow, do you see how I'm broadening that elbow? That back elbow, I'm broadening it, and it helps me turn more. Maybe you get your shin, middle of your shin, the outside of that left shin, or maybe you get your foot and turn. So like you did in your Adho Mukha Virasana, you're turning those back ribs. I'm turning them to face the camera. All right, then back to Halasana. Stand up. Lift the hamstrings. It feels really good to straighten the legs at this point. Okay, groins back, buttocks back. Okay, now straighten your right leg. Keep your left heel on that blanket. Begin to turn, so your whole left side of your trunk is going on the alongside its same thigh. So then I turn and watch, see how I'm just, this is my tighter side, and I'm just turning and reaching that arm back. If I can, I've got a brick. The brick can be tall, the brick can be short, whatever it needs to be. Then I bend that back elbow, and it helps me turn more, and it helps me move the shoulder blades deeper into my back. Woo. These poses bear repetition. Sorry we don't have more time. But I prepared you well that when we sign off, you can just do them some more. Turn, bend that elbow, that back elbow, and turn some more, chin up. All right, then back to Malasana. Stand up, no hands, if you can. When I have grandchildren someday, I'd like to be able to get up from the floor. Okay, pull up the hamstrings. Lift the groins. Tadasana. Bend the knees. Take the groins back and down. Malasana. Okay, so your knees should be pretty high and your buttocks should be really low. If they're at the same level, then perhaps you need more height under your heels. Okay, now your left leg, straight, well, we're on to, your left leg is straight. All right. So now we're into Marichiyasana 3. So first I just work on lifting that trunk up, sit both buttocks down.
Then can I cradle that front knee, bent knee? And can I turn? So can you guys see? I don't know if you can see this, but can you see how I've basically got my, it'll be your left armpit to the knee, opposite knee. So if you can do that, that's great. You walk the arm back. Then, if you can keep that, then you can take it outside. If you can't do this, you have no business doing this. So you have to bring this, it'll be your left armpit, as close to that knee as possible. Hold it and then hook. So there's a hierarchy to the poses that we must follow. All right, watch your straight leg, that it doesn't go willy-nilly. It has to extend from groin to big toe, and the outer leg pulls back to the hip socket. Okay, now if this is easy, Mary Obendorfer said, you can go ahead and let that heel slide down into the floor, the heel that's up on the blanket, or not. You can keep it there. And turn, chin up. Use the wall in any fashion that will help you turn your back body. Some of you look like you might be a little close to the wall. I am probably 15 or 16 inches away from the wall with my sacrum. All right, release. Bring that knee in. Malasana. Stand up. Lift the hamstrings, lift the groins. Sit down in Malasana. Now your left leg's going to be bent. So here's another way that you can work on the pose if it's difficult. You can come forward, and I'm lifted off the blanket, and it would be your left heel, back of your heel touching your butt. So then I reach and cross over, and then I try to sit back down. Or, that's too difficult, I reach and cradle, and turn this, it'll be your right, back of the armpit, closer to that knee, and there I go. It's quite effective. With the front arm, slightly pull that right thigh forward and turn more. Chin up, turn. Okay, do your maximum that you can manage. Keep the leg on the floor strong. And Doug, you would definitely be, where you're just cradling and turning. And when in your cradle, really pull, see how I've got the block, and I'm pulling that bent knee forward. So I want a lot of space here in the back of the shoulder blades to get you better. All right. Back to Malasana. Okay, and repeat Malasana. So however that worked for you, some of you I showed with the block and the blanket. Some of you use the chair.
but you're repeating your malasana. So it's either here, stay up on the height with the heels, deepen the groins, go forward, head down, reach under, internal rotation, grab your heels. If you squeeze the knees into the armpits, then you can go forward a little bit more and then head down. All right, slowly come up. Sit up on whatever height you normally sit on for Paschimottanasana. Take your groins back. Take your thighs back, the hamstrings back, groins back. Sit up straight and tall. Okay, you're either gonna use a strap or you're gonna reach your toes, the middle of your feet, or your heels, or all three. So I'm reaching up, Urdhva Hastasana. I'm bringing the trunk forward. My lower back has to move forward, holding the tops of my toes. So my lower back doesn't go back. I hope that's clear. Your lower back has to come forward. And the front of the trunk, the chest has to lift, the chin should lift. So if I can keep that, then I hold the middle of my feet. If I can keep that, I hold my heels. And still, my lower back is coming forward, not back. Lower back moving forward, bend the elbows out to the side. If your sternum is lower than your chest, support your head. How's everybody doing? Support your head, head down on something. Relax the head, relax the brain, relax your eyes. Keep pressing the thighs down into the floor. Okay, inhale, come up. Shoulder rolling, Chatuspadasana. Make your strap maybe, let's say between 6 to 10 inches in diameter. Mine is more like 6. Lie down like you're going to do Chatuspadasana because you are. Tuck the shoulders, do what you can here, and then I'm going to roll to your side of the camera. Tuck and roll. Catch the strap in between my wrists, just like you did when you had the strap in Tadasana. The hands through the strap in between the index finger and the thumb, and I pull against that strap. Tuck the other way, tuck, and lie down on your arms. Okay, then push into your feet. You see this little movement? Pushing into my feet to open my chest more. Okay, now keep the chest that open. Walk your feet in an inch or two. Now use that hamstring coming to the buttock flesh, but use the buttocks to lift you. The buttocks to lift you up in Chatuspadasana. Press, tuck and roll some more, and press the back of your hand into the floor. Okay, now come off your toes, and dig your heels in, and lift the bottom of the buttocks. And slowly come down, release your strap. Lay yourself out for Shavasana. If you would rather do Sarvadasana, here's my recommendation. If you're a regular shoulder stand person and you feel so open in your chest and you want to do shoulder stand, I would sign off, do your shoulder stand, do your Shavasana. If you've had enough and you want to do perhaps some inversions later on in the day to get your shoulder stand in, then join us in Shavasana. I'm going to come up onto my elbows and extend my legs. Join them and look to see that I'm pretty even. Okay, and then I walk my elbows forward and lie down. Tuck my shoulders. Let my legs go. Let my arms go. Remove my glasses. And as we did at the beginning of the class, feel the space, feel your tallness, though you're lying down. You can feel the length that you've created today. And then fill up that space with your breath. And then feel that space inside of you. Feel that space you've created. That's what yoga is, ultimately about. We're creating space inside for not just, our internal organs to work better, for our joints to work better, everything to work better for the benefit of the mind. Okay, make sure that in your extension, reaching out, whatever, you have not created any tension anywhere in the body. So in extension, don't create tension. Let go, release. Feel your breath permeating everywhere, from your toe tips to the crown of your head. Now let your breath be softer. So no part of the body is disturbed. Now take a couple deeper, longer Ujjayi-like inhalations and exhalations. And then on your third, more normal inhalation and then exhalation, hold the limbs in one at a time, arms, and then legs. And roll over to your right side. Support your head with the crook of your arm or a blanket. And then keep bowing your head toward that space that you've created in yourself. Use your hands. When the head is mostly upright, it can begin to lift up, sit in whatever comfortable seated pose is good for you. Take a moment to just bow to that sacred space inside of you. Bring your hands to your heart. Namaste.